The protests that have rallied Royal Los Angeles, that is, for several days, appear to be spreading across the country today, including here in Chicago. Let's give you a live look at what's going on right now. This is downtown ahead of the already scheduled protests tonight at Federal Plaza. Protesters are currently marching over the recent arrests around the U.S. It began outside the U.S. Immigration Office at 55 East Monroe. Again, this is a live picture. You see that group walking very slowly and peacefully in the streets. This has many streets closed downtown right now. We're monitoring this live for you, and we will bring you more from this scene downtown as it continues in just a second. Meantime, let's check in quickly on things going on in Los Angeles. Things seem calmer there today. Intersections that had been locked down by police are now open to traffic. 700 Marines have joined the 2,000 National Guard troops on the streets there. For the past few days, as you likely know, protesters have been clashing with police. They're demanding an end to immigration raids in the city. You saw cars burned, businesses looted, dozens of people ended up being arrested. Some were shot with rubber bullets.
If we didn't send in the National Guard quickly, right now, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground.
Unfortunately, the visuals make it seem as though our entire city is in flames, and it is not the case at all.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says it is President Trump who has inflamed the situation, posting on social media, quote, "This isn't about public safety. It's about stoking a dangerous president's ego. This is reckless, pointless, and disrespectful to our troops," unquote. Now, as LA Mayor Karen Bass, you heard from a second ago, she vows to prosecute any looters and anyone who engages in violence.
And as we mentioned, there is a protest planned tonight downtown at Federal Plaza here in Chicago. Nguyen is there with what we're learning about what we can expect at this protest. V.
Marion, that protest is scheduled to start tonight at 5:30. We caught up with the local pastor earlier. He's been following all the developments that's happening and everything that's happening in LA. Here's what he had to say, his message to Chicagoans about urging them for peace and calm in Chicago this week.
We have the right to protest, but not the right to create such a demonstration that vandalizes stores, people get hurt, those kind of things. I don't agree with that. You know, I think that some folks have gone too far, and I don't think that represents migrants anyways. That's not what migrants would want.
Pastor John Zayas leads the congregation at Grace and Peace Church on the city's west side. He says over the last 3 months, his church has hosted 8 Know Your Rights workshops. He says they're no longer promoting or publicizing those workshops given the heightened fear, tension, and safety concerns.
We don't make it public anymore because of what's going on. You know, we don't want to be out there where we publicize an event and then ICE may show up and without, you know, proper documentation to take someone, then we have some kind of situation that's going to cause fear, and we don't want that to happen here.
Rapid response workers with the Brighton Park Neighborhood Council is also being strategic with how they're getting the information out to families and clients. They have volunteers canvassing every weekend and say they too are asking community partners to limit who they share the Know Your Rights workshop details with, just in case.
I would say it's definitely been a much more bigger emotional toll since we see how things have been quote unquote ramping up right through the administration and trying to bring up that number of arrests a day. It's been very scary. We see it getting closer to home, right? There's a lot of community members here in the Southwest that have mixed status families.
So as for the protest that's happening here tonight at Federal Plaza at 5:30, we know it's being organized by the Party for Socialism and Liberation. A flyer shared on social media is calling for mass mobilization from LA to Chicago. We are standing by. We'll have another update for you coming up at 6. Reporting live from the Federal Plaza, V1 NBC5 News.
V, thank you.